as a cool and handsome person like you are.
Do you feel like you're just defending with black and keep losing points against this move? I quit chess. Don't. We both know playing with white is so much easier, but in chess, 50% of the time, you'll be playing with the black pieces. In chess, there are a lot of secret plans. One of them is called the Caro-Kann defense. You always push these 2 pawns like this, whatever your opponent does, because you're smart, and you won't let him bully you in the center. White's got 3 moves they might pull on you. The advanced variation, where they push a pawn, the exchange, where they snatch your pawn, or they might just chill and protect their pawn with a knight. Let's say white goes advanced variation. You're gonna get your bishop, Bob. Yeah, we're calling him Bob, to party on this square. Unlike the French defense, where Bob's stuck at home, Bob's like, why am I even here? In the Caro-Kann, Bob's living his best life. We're Caro-Kann players. Let's forget this nonsense. Your mission after making Bob happy is very simple, pushing this pawn, so his twin brother wakes up, and then strike in the center with this soldier, allowing this knight to jump on this square, putting pressure on white's central pawns. But I have a question for you. What happens if your opponent doesn't push this pawn and decides to protect his pawn instead? Do you see the difference? Bob can't complete his mission on this square. How do you fix this? Simple. Get rid of this pawn, and only now Bob can go out to party. 98% of the time, white understands their knight is attacked, so they retreat, attacking Bob, who's having fun. Going home is not an option, so the only square is this one. Now white has 3 main options, but 80% players suddenly decide to bully Bob with this move and become super aggressive. Do you see what they want next? Bob again, who would have no available square, forcing us to sacrifice him. No way. Proper bullies. It's like all white cares about is come after this poor bishop. But don't worry, this move won't be scary after this video. Just create some breathing room, and if he attacks it, just hide. Now almost everyone develops his knight or the bishop here, but it doesn't make any difference for us. We'll respond the same way. Here is your mission. The knight goes on f6 to control these 2 important squares in the center. This one is stuck, so you'll have to move this pawn here, then Bob's brother goes here or there. This knight goes here, and your king has both options, to long or short castle. Are you wondering what to do with your queen? You'll choose one of these 3 squares depending on white's play.
But Chesscape, what if he takes my pawn instead of moving the knight?
Just remember to not blunder and take back with the queen, because white would dominate you in the center after this move, controlling the center and forcing her to leave this spot. Instead, the mission of this soldier is to guard these 2 squares. Also, the fact that he is not here anymore frees this square for the knight to jump there next. It's a win-win. From here, white has 2 main moves. Either he goes for fast development of his pieces with this move, but if he's more aggressive, he'll counter in the center with this move. It looks scary, right? But it's not. Just focus on the mission. The knight, his mission is to control the center. Make sure you develop him first, and he continues to put pressure here. Just defend this pawn one more time. Then the plan is simple. You will develop your bishop here or there, pinning the knight. And if he takes your pawn, remember this. When you see a sad pawn like this one, who's isolated, meaning no pawn on adjacent files being able to protect him, always put a knight to block him. It's called a blockade. Congratulations, you now know what a blockade is in chess. So you take back with the knight, attacking twice this one. He defends, and you hide your king to safety. I promise you, this was the hardest part of the video. You'll see how a 2300 ELO player uses the Caro-Kann to school a 2470 GM. The standard pawn moves get played, fighting for the center. The Grandmaster decides to play the main variation protecting his pawn. Remember what you should do here? We free Bob's square, of course. He takes back, Bob is released. He gets attacked. I hope you remember to put the bishop on this square, and the GM decides to go for the aggressive approach. Black is 2300. He obviously knows the GM threatens to capture his bishop on the next move, so he instantly pushes the pawn to be able to hide in case he gets attacked. But now the GM decides to go for a very dangerous move that can be surprising if you're just learning chess, because you hear everywhere knight on the rim is dim. But there are exceptions. This square is amazing for this knight. Bob hides again. The GM develops his bishop. The knight goes out. White castles. How would you feel if you were playing with the black pieces? You would feel some pressure, right? What do you do when your opponent brings all his pieces towards your king? Try to eliminate them. The 2300 did exactly this, proposing an exchange. But the GM is thinking, I have 140 ELO points more than you. I want to win fast and go cheap. chill. So he brings his queen into action to put pressure on this pawn. So black cannot move this bishop. If you can't move the bishop, it means we won't be able to castle. Are we doomed with black? Remember why we played this? To exchange pieces. The bishop takes back. White is attacking on the king side. Simple. Bring your army there. The mission of this knight is to reach this square and defend his king. But there is a problem. The GM now attacks twice this pawn. If we move the rook to protect, we cannot castle short anymore. If we push, Bob is dead. What would you do here? The 2300 had an idea in mind, offering a knight exchange. But wait, white can just take this pawn with check. Yes, but this was a trap. The GM took the bait, but now black wins in 3 moves. Can you see it? I'm not giving you the answer if you don't like this video. I'm kidding. The bishop takes the knight. Queen takes, attack the queen. The only square is this one. And after this move, the queen is lost. If you like this video, I think you should watch this one now about the queen's gambit.